Hello everyone, Chris here from the U.A.E vACC. I'm the sector file developer here in U.A.E since probably I think 2017, 2018, and in this video I'm going to guide you, as the title suggests, how to install a sector file the correct way, how to not have any errors, a bit of a guide through on everything that we have, such as plugins, play settings, symbology, sound and whatnot. Everything will be in this video. I will be putting timestamps to specific things down in the description below if you're looking for something specific. And hopefully this should help you as well for observers trying to set up your scope for the network. So obviously, let's get right into it. The first thing that you want is you want to head over to uroscope.hu and you want to download the latest Uroscope installer. This can be found on this website. You can go here and download Uroscope and install the files. I'm not going to download it because I already have it already installed on my computer. Also, for other features that we use in the sector files, I highly recommend going to the beta versions and download the latest beta release. It will come up in a WinRAR file, and all you have to do is open that WinRAR file, head over to your file explorer, head over to your PC, Windows, program files and Uroscope, and you want to drag all these files here. Make sure to replace and you're good to go. Make sure they're not inside your documents Uroscope folder, as this will make a problem and a conflict. Once that's done, in order to set up Uroscope, we're going to open it up for the first time. By default, Uroscope will open up like this. What you want to do is you want to head over to Underset and make sure you untick Auto Load Last Profile on Startup. Once that's done, close Uroscope. Head back over to your web browser and head over to files.aeronav.com, and this is where we're going to be downloading our latest sector files for the U.A.E. We're all the way down. We are a bit far down on the list since this is in alphabetical order, and you want to select OMAE, Oscar Mike Alpha Echo, U.A.E vACC. You're going to head here. We have two different packages and everything else. As you can see, any changes that have been happening will be posted down below, which is handled by either me or Logan. For example, you can take on the first page any changes that we've had in the past time. I think the page is not working anymore. Oh, it is. There we go. You can see some changes that we've done and all that. So you might be asking me what's the difference between these two packages. Well, it really depends on your preference. As a beginner controller, I suggest trying out both and seeing, but Top Sky does really get into your choices of controlling once I think you've hit approach, departure and center, as it does have a lot of features to help you manage traffic, conflict and whatnot. But if you're a beginner controller starting as delivery ground, I highly suggest downloading just the install package and this one. If you're approach and above, I suggest downloading Top Sky, as it contains more features for you when you control. Now you might be asking me what's the difference between install and update. The install one is when you're starting new from scratch, meaning you have never downloaded the sector file before. Download the install. If there's an update, download the update, as it will only have the required files for a selected version of Uroscope, or the version of the sector file that you have. For example, if we update only the nav data, it will only contain the navigational data files. Remember, update for your corresponding package, no Top Sky and Top Sky. I've already got everything here, but just to show an example, I'm going to take the Top Sky from scratch. You can take either 7-zip or zip. I'm just going to take zip. You want to open up that zip file as soon as it opens. Head over to Documents, Uroscope. I like to make a folder, as you can see. For example, I'm just going to make a new one. If my computer decides to go, there we go. Let's name it OMAE. Open that and just drag and drop, and everything should be fine. Now let's open up Uroscope, and let's see, Uroscope 3.2. Alright, so you head over to this folder. Obviously it will guide you to your default folder of where everything is. You might be asking, what are these different profiles? These are profiles for each airport that is considered major. So we have Abu Dhabi, Dubai, obviously, Al Maktoum and Sharjah. I think the other one profiles are going to be coming very soon. In this folder, there's nothing really you want to touch. The PRF files, these ones are the ones that are important. It will preload all the settings and everything correctly. For this example, I'm going to open up OMDB, which is the main airport. So you want to select that, click open or enter. Alright, so this is what's going to come up on your screen. With the Top Sky version, you're going to notice there's a bar at the top which contains the extra features of this sector file. So before we do anything, I'm going to give you a quick go through. Right click obviously to move, scroll wheel to zoom in and out. You're going to notice there's a few things: sector inbound list, sector exit list, holding list, mostly used for I suppose tower controls and above. Departure list is mainly used for delivery and ground. So obviously you start off on the screen. This is the TMA view, as we call it. As you can see, Dubai approach or Dubai arrivals. In order to switch to other views, all you have to do is hit F1 plus a number. So we have them configured to F1, F2, which is the tower view, F3 for ground, F4 for Sharjah, F5 for Al Maktoum, and that's it. You can see these configured by going to Other Set, General Settings, H2, ASR Display Fast Keys, and then you can see the ASRs. If you want to change them to something else, click Browse, head over to the OMA folder, ASR, and you have a group of all the displays that we have pre-configured. Keep in mind, if you want to have your own profiles, make sure that they're not named the same as these ones, as when we release the sector update, we overwrite the display files by default. So once again, to connect to Euroscope, head over to the top left corner, connect. The connection dialog will pop up. Make sure it's direct to VATSIM. Your facility, observer, obviously if you're doing anything else, it's like that. Your rating, closest server to you, put up your real name, your VATSIM ID and the password. And make sure to change the initials to, of course, first letter of your first and second name. And save the profile for later users can see send and replace. There we go. So also we also have pre-configured call signs and settings. So for example, if you click the drop down menu, all the call signs are already here for airports within the Dubai TMA. So for example, if I select Dubai approach, you're going to see this changes to Dubai arrivals, PDC logon code, airports covered. This will change automatically to approach. But for now, like I said, we're going to change to CK underscore or BS. So once you've got your password set up, click connect. And you should hear this wonderful noise and the voice communications dialog should set up. Now you can open this by clicking on the headset, and we're going to set up the basic features to observe. Now you open this, you can see that all the frequencies for each position is here. For example, we have Dubai Tower, Dubai Arrivals, and all that. Click on hardware setup, your primary input, and your primary output. I use direct sound or wave, not a problem. And the bottom, push to talk, I set mine to right control and right alt by default, or right shift. Click close and X. First of all, you're not going to see anything, so in the chat box at the very bottom where the grey bar is, type .visomdb. You can see this wonderful circle pop up, and that's going to center all the visibility in Dubai. Obviously, feel free to cycle some views. As you can see, we have some traffic on the ground, which is wonderful. So, we're going to head over to the ground view, which is F1+3, and you can see that there are a few things. First of all, blue tags are departing aircraft, and red tags are arriving aircraft. Obviously, there's no arriving aircraft now. If you want to listen to someone, you can always go to the controller list here, right click and listen to frequency. Now we're going to listen to ground, so I think that's the busiest. And then in the voice list, it's hidden, you're going to see that people are connected. Obviously, I'm not going to teach you everything since the rest will be in your mentoring, but this is for your basic understanding of how to be able to transmit or not transmit or listen to frequency. So a lot of people have been asking me, Top Sky, pretty simple thing. Here is your airport identifier. Display, you have the menus. You can have 2 approach windows if you want. I personally have 1. Target, you don't really mess around unless you want mess around with the font and all that. Color settings, not really. And then this is, for example, alerts if you want to close a runway, for example. Or for example,
and the ground Lufthansa 630 is ready for taxi.
Lufthansa 630 taxi via Zulu, Kilo 11, hold short 30 left.
As you can see, this is a control transmitting. So a few things I want to...
Zulu, Kilo 11, hold short 30 left for Lufthansa 630.
Few things I want to know that I can't find the squawk. One thing that VSMR does have, and it is the CPDLC capability that we like to use. In the next update, this is going to be pre-configured in the list, but if you don't have it, you can go to the S here in the departures, click S. This will pop up. Click at the very bottom, add item, and scroll all the way down to VSMR data clearance. And make sure to name this PDC with a width of 4 and enter. Left click, set it to data link menu, right click, set to data link menu, and click OK. You're going to see that this pops up. As you can see, when you click on it, a PDC will come up, reset, close, confirm, standby, or voice. I'm going to put on the screen an image and link of where you can find documentation for that. You can read that yourself on how this works and how the PDC progress works, because I cannot show you an example of how it is. However, to connect to the main VSMR PDC capability, in the chat box at the bottom below, type .smr. It will come up with a, by default it comes up with Innsbruck. It's OMDB and your logon code. Your logon code you can get from hoppy.nl. Link will be in the description. And you can get your ACARS logon code by going on ACARS and get logon code. Make sure you put your full name, email address, and the NTBUS thing here, and you'll get in your email. Paste that in, click OK, and then once everything's set up, type .smr connect, and then it will connect. Obviously, I cannot log in because I'm not logged in as a controller, but that's pretty much the CPDLC feature in a nutshell. Coming up here, I think I accidentally, there we go, I clicked on something. Also, if you click the destination airport, you can see the route view of people flying out and everything, which is pretty cool. Now, when you're controlling, for example, departure approach center where it's pretty busy, we've introduced a new plugin to our sector files, which is called the Radio Directions Finder plugin. On the screen you can see a video of how this works in Eurocontrol Maastricht, which is where they use the system, and I'm pretty sure it's used in every other system around the world.
Hello, speedbird 887, flight level 380, direct west bay.
Speedbird 887, good day, 95.
Maastricht, Canada 1963, passing 175, cleared 250.
Hello, 1963, 95, climb at level 330.
Climb 330 to the 196. Maastricht, hello, Blue Messenger 5 Charlie, flight level 350, bound Tesla.
Blue Messenger 5 Charlie, good afternoon, identified.
The Top Sky CPDLC is very simple. Head over to setup CPDLC. Same thing as VSMR, put your logon code, so OMAE for example. Put your logon code, select if you're doing CPDLC or data link, and you can mess around with settings, transponder, blah 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 blah. You can open up the data link. Sorry, you can open up the data link menu by heading over to Tools, CPDLC, Current Messages, Tools, Tools, CPDLC History Messages, and you can move around these menus. Note that this only comes with Top Sky. Also, some menus I recommend using when you're controlling approach and above. Head over to Tools, Vertical Aid window. Helps you calculate altitudes between traffic. As you can see who is who, and each flight plan. For example, if you click on the Iran, for example, Lufthansa, you can see its altitude change. Emirates will change as well, unless they have the same flight level. As you can see, if you click here, you can see a menu. For example, if you click on FPL, you can see the flight plan. Now, something that I've configured with Top Sky is the squawking ability, meaning that even if you're on center, you can give an aircraft a aerodrome squawk instead of an en route squawk, which is pretty good. Here, it's a bit more detailed than the default Euroscope flight plan. You have the call sign, the IFR type, flight type, aircraft type, and I think equipment code. Estimated, I think it's a pushback time, arrival, departure, estimated time en route, alternate flight level, and I think that's the speed, the route. This is for what is the name of the pilot and where he's from. SoCal. If you click here, I can't click it because I'm not a controller. You can click on here and it will say assign squawk automatically, and it will assign squawk. You can refresh the flight plan by clicking refresh force, and you can find the flight plan by typing the call sign. So if I type Emirates 1024, enter, it will get me the flight plan of this guy, which is different. And if you're updating flight plan, click force, Zulu time, all that is here, which is pretty handy dandy. If you click, also there's another useful tools. If you head over to card, this is the conflict and risk display, mostly used by separation. For example, if you're working yourself on the VTEB hold, you have multiple people and you have assumed, it will show you all your aircraft assumed, and if they're meeting at the same point, it will show you if there's a conflict alert. There's also, I think, the what was it? Not flight plan list. If you head to Meta, there's messages of Meta. There's also QNH. This is not, we don't use that. You can head over to info. There's also general information about areas. There is NOTAMs. So for example, if you go to today, we can set up a NOTAM. You can also check the aerodrome, for example, Abu Dhabi. You can see the QNH, NOTAMs today, everything and all that. Obviously this all works when you're logged as a controller. The LFNOC frequency plan is when you're selecting frequencies. You can literally just remove the controller and you can just have the LFNOC frequency plan to see frequencies, which is much more better in my opinion when controlling. And you can see everything together, frequency and CPDLC. You can have a notepad if you want, a personal queue. For example, if you have multiple people at a time, you can tell them to call back. ATC messages, instead of having it here, you can have it here on this box. Primary frequency, which is the one you receive here. Text notes and all that. Status you don't really need, and that's pretty much it. That's Top Sky. I can see here a tag is popping up. I think my tag setting is incorrect. Yeah, it's my thing. I set it to Top Sky U.A.E. Obviously, same thing. Right click call sign, more info. Left click, you can see things and all that. If you click on hold, for example, I don't know if this is going to work. And if you click on the tag and hold, a holding menu will pop up. I think it's in tools if I can find it. No, it only works when you're actually holding people. Obviously, if you click on the altitudes next to the passing altitude route view, flight plan, routing, and all that. Right, I'm going to show you a new exciting feature that we're introducing. Alright, so a new feature we've introduced in the sector files is called VACCS, which is the coordination system that they use in real life when calling controllers. So I'm going to go ahead and reconnect quickly. This works when you observe as well, which is very good. So we're back on the network. If you go to quick set and show TS VACCS mini control, this is a new feature. If you have the beta, you installed correctly, you can see that column VACCS is here. Go to other set, VACCS dialog, and you're going to notice that we have a few things here. So this is the VACCS system that we use. We've recently introduced, and I'm going to guide you through it since I think it's better than coordinating on Discord. Obviously, you go here, you have all the buttons and everything that you can use. For example, conference, it's not implemented yet. which is everything. You have all the positions: Dubai delivery, Dubai ground 1, Dubai ground 2, Dubai tower, tower 2, final director, arrivals, departures, and information. Bad box, north, east, south, central, holding stack, and Abu Dhabi and adjacent. Pretty much this is Discord inside of your scope, which is much more useful because you don't have to mute everyone one by one when talking to one single person. So as you can see that there's a couple things here. Obviously the ones with a red border means the position is not online, and the one with a yellow border are the ones that are using the beta, but they're not connected to the VCCS server. So I think Matthew is online. What you want to do is you want to go to edit and change the server name to VATSIMScandinavian.org. Your nickname is your ID. Set your G2G push to talk, set it to, for example, 0 on the numpad. Set your microphone, click OK. Okay, so make sure to go to quick set, show TS VCCS dialog, put it here, and go to VCCS dialog, and this is what I'm talking about. So when it's yellow, it means that a controller has the beta but not connected to VCCS, and when it's green, it means that the controller has VCCS. So like I said, you guys have to be on the same server, and then click OK. So let's go to the other Euroscope instance. You're going to see that we both have VCCS. I'm going to go this from center, go to VCCS dialog, and we're going to call Dubai arrivals. On the other screen, you can see that I'm calling U.A.E bandbox is calling. You click, it will answer the call. This is a test. As you can see, it works. Read U.5. Let's say it all works. Once you're done, right click and end the call. Done. Simple as that. VCCS in a nutshell. Let's do it again from Dubai arrivals, or you can also right click the controller, call on VCCS. Dubai TMA. Okay. Yep, this is Dubai Tower just doing a test. Yeah, there we go. And that's good. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you guys have any questions, make sure to send me a message on Discord, or you can also send me a message to the staff. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and bye bye.